In the previous video, we looked at backing up and restoring platform services controllers. In this video, we will look at vSphere data protection appliance and the command line interface that really comes in handy when we don't have a graphical user interface to look at. The commands that we will cover are the MC CLI commands. We will look at the MC CLI server subcommand primarily. The EM web app command, which is really useful to make sure that with the web application management interface is up. There will be other status commands to check on capacity, storage, and others, as well as how to manage the VMware tools service, because that is key for setting up a proper implementation of the VDP. So I have secured shelled into our vSphere data protection appliance. That's at 192.168.0.60. I logged in as admin and entered my password, and I'm logged into the first VDP that's running at headquarters. So the first command to take a look at is status.dpn, which basically gives you the status of the entire VDP. It has the information about the node itself. The IP address is 60. The version number is 7.2.8 and so on. It's online, full access. Everything seems to be running okay. Percentage full, it's about 1.5% full. And the last checkpoint status is there as well. Everything looks to be good here. System status okay, access full. Some information about maintenance windows and so on. So this is really good for getting an overall status of the appliance. Now I'm going to have to hit clear just about after every command here. And one of the key things that we have to do, and we had this issue when we first installed our VDP, is to get the network time protocol NTP to synchronize properly. Well, even after setting everything up properly, if you recall, I had to restart VMware tools to make sure that they are running. Service VMware tools status, and only root can use service. And so we changed over to root. Service VMware tools status, and VMware tools daemon is running. In our case, we had to restart VMware tools. So service VMware tools, and I'm just going to hit the enter key. And basically the options we have are start, stop, status that we already looked at, restart, or force reload. I had to use a restart the last time, and once I did that, then NTP synchronized. So this is a really good way to make sure that VMware tools is running in case you have issues. Another good command is em web app command. Em web app dot shell. The user interface, or the management user interface for VDP, is available at port 8543/VDP-configure. If you're unable to get to that website, then more than likely the web service for that has to be restarted. So the Tomcat server has to be restarted. And this is the command that one can use to see if that is up and running. And so the enterprise manager web application status is up. So I did a // test. We can try this command without the arguments, and it does nothing. But if you want to start it up again, then that's the command to use to restart it. You can also -- stop or -- start could be the arguments as well for EM web app. So this is a really good one to know. Time to clear the screen again and take a look at some more commands. One is the checkpoint list. So the data protection appliance takes checkpoints on a regular basis just to make sure that our checkpoints are in order. You can do a checkpoint list, and what it basically says is that these are the checkpoints that were taken, and everything is looking pretty good. So we can basically leave it at that for this course. This is enough of explanation. Another key command is mc CLI, and you can see that there are a lot of subcommands for this as well. A key subcommand here would be to just look at the server itself, the VDP appliance, its properties. And so the command for that is mc CLI server show the properties. And here we have that command. Everything is in good shape. Total capacity 575.9, 13.3 gig, utilization 2.3. It's been running for 6 or 7 days, and that's the IP address, one node, and that's online. So this has to do basically with your proxies. Remember that we can start up other proxies for VDP as well. So one proxy on every host, so that the traffic can be directly to the host and not via the main node all the time. And we will hit clear again and explore a few other commands. The capacity command is a good one, capacity.shell, and this basically analyzes the consumption of space. So GC is garbage collection, so new data, and then how much of that can be removed. So the net change is out here, and then top 3 high change clients. So these are the clients that actually are the ones that are causing the highest rate of change. And as you can see, the platform services controller that we backed up in the last video is one of them as well. It's not so much in terms of the space, but still it's not too big. But anyway, this is the one that one can take a look at, this command capacity.shell, so you can see what are the high change clients. That's a good thing to know for tuning purposes, because clients that have high change, if you're also replicating them, then you need to be careful so that there's not too much data to be sent across to the replication site on a restricted bandwidth. Otherwise your recovery point objectives will be violated very, very quickly. There is another command that called replicate. It's useful to know, although the user interface does allow very easy use of the replicated backups, but this is what I really like. I really like the whole idea of being able to replicate backups and then being able to bring the backups back. So to restore replicated backups, that is. Well, there's a user interface. We've seen that before to do that, and we actually had a video where we went through the whole process. But if you want to do it on the command line, that's the command to use. Command is called replicate. How to use it is basically right here. And this is a really nice example of how one can be sure that it actually does work. So the replicate command is something you should keep in your back pocket, or look up the documentation if you need to know more about it. So we've looked at most of the useful CLI commands for the data protection appliance. The status.dpn displayed the VDP status overall. The MC CLI server show-prop was probably the best one because it kind of pulls everything together, and it's worth looking at that one more time. This is one of my more used commands because it gives me everything in a very easy to understand manner. And from a troubleshooting perspective, the em web app --test would be, that's a shell actually, emwebapp.sh, and the enterprise manager web applications up. This is to make sure that your management user interface at port 8543 is up and running. And then of course the command for service, and I believe I can say /status-all. Yeah, that's right. So this is the one that gives us the status of all the services that are actually running on this appliance. And you can see up at the top, tools is running, the file level restore service is running, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you have a real interest in looking at this in great detail, then that's a good command to have in your back pocket as well, to make sure that all the services are up and running. The ones that need to be up are actually running. Okay, with that, we come to the end of this lab. A quick work through the command line for the vSphere data protection appliance, the troubleshooting commands, and the overall capacity.sh commands, as well as the show-prop argument for the MC CLI server are probably the ones that one would use most often. Having covered the command line for the VDP, we come to the end of this section and series of videos. In the next section, we will look at advanced vSphere 6.x security. I look forward to seeing you there.